I'm at Providence's North Burial Ground where the great artist Edward Bannister is laid to rest, but the plaque that used to adorn his monument is now gone. Longtime community leader Cedric Huntley passed away on July 10th. His nonviolent stance and his love for others made him a pillar in the community. New Bedford is rich in Black history, and the city's historical society is doing all that it can to make sure that this history is well known. Sharks are not uncommon to Rhode Island waters, but there are a couple of species that don't normally breed up here. But with the climate change, we might be seeing a shift in our local habitat. This is a spinner shark, which was caught in Charlestown, Rhode Island. Most of the time you can find this shark from North Carolina to Florida. So why was this one here?
We think it has a lot to do with climate change. We're seeing a lot of change in the last 5 or 10 years here in Rhode Island and surrounding waters. We think waters are continuing to warm. We know they are. And with it, we're starting to see species that we normally wouldn't see. And this just happens to be one of those.
The size of this shark is key because spinner sharks can grow up to 6 feet long. For this one to be so small tells you it was born here.
It was only 2 feet long. And it also had a partially healed umbilical scar. So this is a newborn. And what's really odd about that is this is not considered a nursery area for these sharks at all.
With the presence of this baby spinner shark, it leaves us with more questions than answers.
Why did mom decide to give birth up here in Rhode Island waters in a place where it's a little bit cooler and not typical of their nursery habitat? So is this a one-off, right? Or is this the start of something that we're going to see more often?
With the ever-changing climate, it's hard to say if Rhode Island will be the new breeding ground for the spinner shark, but with the way the waters have been changing, this could turn into a new normal. In the studio, Derwin', 12 News. On April 8th, many are going to have their eyes to the sky, trying to get a glimpse of the solar eclipse. If you haven't made your plans yet, here are some of the things that you need to look out for. If you're planning on taking a trip on one of the cities that sits in the line of totality, expect to pay a little bit more.
A lot of hotels are sold out at this point, but you can still see if there are some last minute cancellations that have maybe led to openings. Just know that you may pay a bit of a premium. Most hotels in the most popular cities in the path of totality, prices are up almost 50% over this time last year.
We checked some hotels on popular travel websites and the prices definitely have gone up. Some were sold out, but if you can make it to one of the cities in the line of totality, like a Buffalo, New York, Burlington, Vermont, and parts of New Hampshire and Maine, you want to check those state travel advisories.
If the state that you're going to has issued a travel advisory, you're going to want to make sure that you follow all of their recommendations.
And one of the recommendations is don't just pull over on the side of the road during the eclipse.
You don't just want to be pulling off to the shoulder or to the side of the highway. That's really unsafe. If you are going to be in your car and you want to look, get off the highway, go park somewhere safe. Otherwise, keep your eyes on the road and remain a vigilant driver.
And last but not least, pay attention to your surroundings.
Folks who are going to be driving should keep their eye out for pedestrians. People are going to be out and about, popping out of whatever building they're in or their office during the day with their eyes to the sky, maybe not looking at the road. So be extra careful as folks are outside to take it all in.
AAA also says that if you're trying to book a hotel for the eclipse, check to see if the hotel has any discounts for any groups that you might be a member of. In the studio, Derwin', 12 News.